Good afternoon. Today on Veterans Day and Marine Corps birthday, we honor those who've served, past, present, and future, and we thank them for their sacrifice and their dedication. We're coming off a trip to Oxford, where we faced the University of Mississippi, ranked number 6 in the country. The result was not what we wanted. We don't believe in moral victories, but there were areas of disciplined football. Defensively, we played assignment sound football. We held their top rusher to 51 yards. He only had a long of 15. None of their receivers had over 100 yards receiving. That was solid execution against one of the nation's top offenses. Special teams, our special teams coverage units, that was a bright spot. Our kickoff coverage, we had a tackle inside the 15-yard line. It was only a 5-yard return. Our punt team held their return to a negative return yardage of 3.5, along with a net punt of 45.75 yards. So we controlled the field position and set the tone in that phase. Offensively, we took care of the ball. There were no turnovers, no penalties, no holding calls. Go figure. We didn't hold a SEC team. Seems to happen in the SoCon. All right. We had smooth personnel changes. Now on offense, it's about finishing drives with points. We got to put points on the board from that standpoint. Looking ahead to Wofford, Wofford is 4-6. They're 3-3 in the SoCon. They've lost 5 FCS games by a matter of 12 points. This is a good, hard-nosed football team, all right? But for us, our focus is very simple. It's finish. Finish in practice, finish in all our execution, and finish on the scoreboard so we can send these seniors out the right way at home. That's where our attention is this week. Any questions?
Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First off, you didn't want to take part in the proposal on the field Saturday?
No. I was just trying to make sure we had 11 on the field and make sure we were playing just as fast and as hard as we could.
Going off that, after the game, you talked with Jay kind of about the fight and things started to come to life. Kind of, A, how good was that to see, and B, how do you think you can take that fight against Ole Miss into this game against Wofford?
Yeah, so we're hoping to take that fight in our daily walk, in everything that we do. You know, at the beginning of the season, you know, we talked about our team and being a bunch of nice guys. So it's starting to turn a little bit. So we want to not only take it into the Wofford game, but this is who we want this team to be going forward.
Yeah, you talk about the turnovers. Y'all didn't turn the ball over. The only turnover was the pick from Mikey Rosa. Talk about seeing him do that. I know the tip before it helped a lot too. And then, yeah, how special was no turnovers? What's that mean for y'all? Yeah,
so Mikey, I really like the way he's playing right now. He's playing with his hair on fire, and there's more in the tank, right? So we're still challenging him, but he's coming into his own. Very excited for him on that interception. I was just wondering how fast and how far he could go. And so happy for him. That was a good play for him. But now we have to build upon that, and the team has to build upon his growth. Like, let's match his level defensively. Other people in his room, in the linebacker room, let's match and exceed where he is. So that's the challenge.
Off that, whether it's building off what he did with the defense, whether it's the fight, what about the total experience? How do you think playing it, one of the biggest teams and one of the best teams in the nation can kind of help continue to build the program? You touched on earlier in the season about North Dakota State, kind of see and smell how they go about their business. What about going to an SEC program? Kind of how can that help y'all?
Yeah, so, you know, I love the experience for our younger guys who may not have had that opportunity before to be in that realm. It's always good because you can build off of it. I don't want to call his name, but one of our young DBs was kind of starstruck, and his eyes was wide open. And this is a young man with ability. He can run, he can jump, he has length. And, you know, watching him from the first play to the third, fourth quarter, once he settled in, like, we literally saw his maturation process happen in real time. And I truly, truly believe the sky be the limit for him. And so he's not the only one. There's multiple guys.
You talked about guys who'd taken their first plane flight going to Mississippi. How did all that go? And were there some nervous flyers out there?
Yeah, so leading up to the week, we did have some nervous flyers, but I tell you what, Andy Clausen does a great job with our travel. It was seamless. We got there, got on. Well, by the time we got up in the air, we had already landed. It was an hour and 30 minutes going, an hour 13 on the way back. That jet stream's something else.
Coach,
Andrew claps when planes land.
I know Summer had mentioned what Mikey Rose has been doing, but also Jeremiah Holmes batting the pass away and his growth throughout the season. What can you say about his play as of late?
Yeah, so Jeremiah, he's another one. I mean, they're playing good ball, but right now I have to keep my thumb on them. We're not satisfied yet, right? We want more out of Jeremiah, and he's trying to give it to us every day. And now we need his teammates, his counterparts. We need them to rise to the level to where he is, and hopefully exceed him if he doesn't keep going. But it's happy to see this for him. And you speak about Jeremiah and Mikey. Both of those young men have rank in the core as well too, and they're good students. So there is a metric to this thing, and I'm very excited for them, and we'll continue to recruit guys like them as well.
Sorry, you've talked about before handling the frenzy of things you'll have at home games. I know it's homecoming this weekend. You talked about not making certain games bigger, not letting distractions happen. What's the approach this week with it being homecoming?
I didn't realize it was homecoming. I didn't realize it was a big game. Or it's only a big game because it's the next one. I'm teasing. Of course, yes, we know it's homecoming, and we are downplaying some of that. We're just trying to block out the noise. Block out the noise, block out the extra that goes on with homecoming, and let's be where our feet are. In every moment of our process getting to Saturday, let's just be present in the moment, be where our feet are.
Going off that, obviously Furman's a big rival, VMI's a big rival, but Wofford's another big rival, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually playing for a trophy. For those of you who don't know, it's called the Big Dog Trophy. And I believe it originated with two co-owners of the Beacon restaurant. One's a Wofford grad, one's a Citadel grad, and I believe that's how it started. So we're playing for a trophy, and we feel like we do pretty well in trophy games.
Can you talk a little bit about the running game? It's been going so well for you guys, and then you run into obviously an SEC defense, but still, what did you see Saturday, and then where can you kind of make some tweaks going into the Wofford game?
Yeah, so talking about our running game, we're continuing to evolve in that. Saturday, that's an anomaly. Those guys were very, very good. So we weren't able to do some things at the point of contact. So it challenged us as coaches to come up with some different wrinkles, and we actually feel like we were able to pick up some nuances that you'll hopefully see this Saturday because of that experience.
Yeah, just on top of that, what would you like to see out of this offense on Saturday?
Continue to continue to grow. But like I said in my opening statement, we have to finish drives with points. We can't stall out. We can't go for it on fourth down and not get it. We can't decide to kick a field goal and not make it. We have to finish drives with points, and that's part of our messaging this week.
The continued, playing both quarterbacks, which obviously, has been successful this year. Just what did you see from Quentin and Kobe on Saturday and then kind of going into this game?
Yeah, Kobe and Quentin, it wasn't too big for them. We knew it wouldn't be big for Quentin because he's been there, done that before. And Kobe's so even keel, mild-mannered. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. That was very settling to see that with your field generals, where they just, they were just trying to settle in. They functioned very well in an atmosphere that was very noisy. Sorry to the neighborhood, we had a little crowd control going this week at practice, and it didn't affect us at all. The guys did a good job from that standpoint.
If you look at their statistics together, both over, I think, 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards passing, is that kind of how you view, is it not just one guy, but just one position, and you're getting productivity out of that one position?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it didn't start that way with me, right? Because I was under this mindset of if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. And these guys have proven me wrong. So right now, we have the quarterback position that just happens to be played by two individuals. Yes, yes. And now, once again, always want more. We're not going to be satisfied. We always want more, but we're trending in the right direction with the production. 1,000 yards rushing between the two and passing.
I guess we ask every week kind of about the opponent. What is your scouting report of the Terriers for Saturday?
Yeah, so I led off with that. This is a very good football team. 12 points has kept them, well, excuse me, let me restate that. They have 5 losses combined through 12 points. So they've been close in all their games. The only game that they may have got blown out is when they played Virginia Tech, and even that one was respectable. I think it may have been like 38-6. So this is a very good football team, coached by a very good coach. Sean Watson is a darn good coach. I've known him for many years. He's seen a lot. He does a lot. So it's going to be a tight battle. Their defense is playing lights out right now. Their defense has scored 5 touchdowns themselves. Their defensive coordinators, Jonathan Saxon, had the pleasure of coaching him when he was at South Carolina State. So he's learned good defense a long time ago. No, from the coaches we had. The DC at the time was a guy named Mike Adams. Mike Adams is now the linebacker coach at Virginia. Joel Taylor, who's the head coach at West Georgia, and myself. The 3 of us was on that defense during Jonathan's time at South Carolina State. There are other DCs, so they have co-DCs. Mitch Doolittle. I mean, he's the son of a coach. He grew up cutting his teeth coaching as well, too, and watching his father coach. Had some really good battles with him over the years when he was at Gardner-Webb. He was at Mercer. So they are very, very well coached on defense. Offensively, Sonoris Perry, the running back coach, he gave me fits when we both were in the NFL. He was a special teamer, and, man, this guy was lights out. So this is a good football team, good foundation, and they have bones in their DNA of coaching. When you think of Fisher DeBerry, right, a graduate of Wofford, when you think of Jerry Richardson, who played wide receiver for the Baltimore Colts, owner of the Panthers, Nate Woody, all right, he was a graduate of Wofford, if I'm not mistaken, and now he's the defensive coordinator at Army. Shield Wood is a graduate. He's the defensive coordinator at Houston. And then Greg Gasparotto, right? He is the defensive coordinator at Tulane. So they know a little something about defense over there. And then we actually have 3 people in our program that has Wofford ties. Rhett Russell, who played defense at Wofford, is our director of football operations and our player personnel. And then Camden Gray, who plays linebacker for us. He transferred to us after his, I believe it was freshman year. And then our long snapper. They all have Wofford ties.
And when you talk about the players with Wofford ties, are they more fired up for this one? Do you see anything different with those guys?
No, they're fired up because we've ingrained in them at this point where it's a big game because it's the next one. Now, when I'm not in the room, yeah, maybe so, yeah.
Just because I know you shouted out a bunch of coaches, I know y'all SoCon coaches are close. Just talk about briefly, I know Chris Hatcher was at Sanford a long time, just what he's meant to this conference for y'all. Yeah,
He's kind of revolutionized the conference early on with his passing game and his IQ on offense. I sent him a text, just saying, hey, praying for you, sending happy thoughts, and to his assistants, because once again, I don't worry about myself, right? I don't worry about these head coaches. It's the assistant coaches, and especially those that have young children, because some of the things that young children hear in the stands shouldn't be repeated. It's yeah. Just think about that, fans, next time you want to fire a coach.